Fair trade. People are always telling me I should drink fair trade coffee. But why? Is it just charity by another name? Is it to make me feel good, or is it to actually do some good? Now, look, I love the flavour of good coffee, but I need to drink it with a clear conscience. So why should I drink this brand instead of any of the others?
Fair trade means that farmers are guaranteed a fair price for their crop. But does it really make a difference to ordinary people's lives? I'm on my way to Rwanda to find out.
Well, my first time in Rwanda, and this is Kigali. Kigali, that's a name I've known for 11 years, ever since those first terrible pictures of the Rwandan genocide hit our television screens. It's a name of despair.
But now things have changed. I'm here looking for a coffee whose production is filling blighted lives with hope. Rwanda is known as the country of 1,000 hills, and they say that the higher the hill, the finer the coffee. 100 miles south of Kigali lie some of the most fertile plantations in the country, and here in Maraba, I met one of the best-known coffee farmers working with the local coffee cooperative.
Good morning. Muraho? Muraho. Because I know your face. I know your face because I've seen it in my local supermarket. And that's what I've seen in the local supermarket. This is Jemima, and you are the face of Maraba Bourbon coffee. Wonderful.
Jemima speaks a form of Swahili. Sadly, I don't. But nevertheless, she gave me my first lesson in picking coffee.
Is it the redder the better? They have to be very red. Is it good?
It's good. It is. It is.
I must admit, they call them cherries, and they look just like cherries. I want to try one of these if I can, Jemima. At this end. Not quite sure what I'm after, but it tastes a bit like an apple. And in the middle there, a coffee bean. So that's what I'm after.
Jemima is one of 1,500 members of the Maraba Coffee Cooperative who sell their harvest on the fair trade market. Once the red coffee cherries have been picked, it's off to the washing station, paid for from the proceeds of fair trade, and we're going to extract the raw coffee beans from the cherries.
Right, I've just driven down from the mountains with the first of this year's crop of coffee cherries. Let's get the things open. Oops, here they are. Now look at these. Coffee cherries start to ferment as soon as they've been picked. And if you leave it for more than a few hours, you ruin the quality of the coffee. And in the old days, a farmer might have spent 24 hours trying to get his cherries to a processing station. And that's the beauty of the new Maraba washing station. You get the cherries straight down from the hills, straight to the washing station. In a couple of hours, the processing starts. And the difference, therefore, is great increase in quality and in consistency. Oh, so let's go and see what happens in this washing station.
Grading the cherries at a sorting table, I met Simeon, one of the coordinators who oversees the production of coffee in the area.
Hi, Simeon. How are you?
How are you?
Right. Now I'm going to throw my cherries on there.
Wow.
Now I want you to tell me how to select these out. What am I doing here?
Here, we select and throw any bad cherries.
Yeah, that one looks pretty bad to me.
Yes.
Off it goes, right.
Yes.
Lovely fruity smell to these, though.
Yeah.
Okay, that one looks bad.
Yes. What we look for is the quality of coffee. Yeah.
From here, the cherries are weighed to determine how much the farmer gets paid. And then they're washed in huge tanks.
So, do the unripe ones float?
Yeah. The good ones sink.
There's enough of them down there.
Yeah.
This extraordinary contraption has been removing all the skins and all the pulp, just leaving coffee beans, but it's not over yet. At last, we're looking at some coffee beans, but they're still covered in a sort of mucus, and we've got to get rid of that.
And to do that, the beans are then left to ferment for about 14 hours.
Well, unfortunately, that doesn't produce some kind of gorgeous coffee wine. Oh, wow. Beautiful smell, though. Because what this does do is the fermentation, it loosens all this sort of mucusy stuff. Then the beans are washed, they're taken out into the sun to be dried, they're taken down to the cooperative to be graded for quality, and then they're ready for roasting.
This local roastery supplies the Rwandan market with Maraba coffee. Roasting the raw beans is the key to giving coffee its distinct flavour and aroma. Different temperatures create different flavours and different strengths of coffee. Fair trade has given roasters like John Bosco the opportunity to improve his skills, teaching him how to taste and assess top quality beans to produce a premium coffee. The timing is crucial. Too long in the roaster means that the beans can be charred and burnt, and if the roaster isn't hot enough, the beans won't achieve the required colour and flavour.
Fantastic.
Once the roasting is complete, the beans are ground, bagged, and ready for tasting.
And this is the moment of truth. Does it taste good? Is it a gourmet coffee like they say it is? Well, let's find out. That is nice stuff. I mean, it's got a lovely creamy quality, but it's chocolatey as well. In fact, it's got a roasted quality, like a freshly roasted hazelnut, something like that. It's got a sort of enveloping richness in your mouth, but all the time, it's really, really fresh. This coffee tastes delicious, but at the same time, I'm drinking it with a clear conscience.
Later in the programme, I'll be talking to women whose lives have been dramatically transformed thanks to fair trade.
What a smashing place for a church. It's perched high on a promontory out here, looking out over a beautiful, tranquil lake. 4,000 people were massacred here during the genocide with machetes and grenades. They'd come here to the church for protection. They were Catholics, they were Adventists, Pentecostals, Muslims. 4,000 came here for protection, and they all died. Now, this is one church in Kibuye. The same kind of things were happening all around the country. Family killing family, neighbors killing neighbors. How do you start to piece together society again after something like that? Well, this is a nice little garden of remembrance, a memorial somewhere you can come and contemplate, come and reflect. Don't go too close to the windows at the back. That's where they've piled the bones and the skulls of the victims of the massacre.
Today, nearly 11 years on, this Catholic church has become a focal point for reconciliation, uniting divided communities that were torn apart by the killings. In the wake of the genocide, fair trade encouraged the growth of coffee cooperatives, offering farmers a chance to rebuild their lives by guaranteeing prices for their coffee harvest.
This coffee plantation here is run by a cooperative of women, genocide survivors. Every single woman here lost members of her family. So where are the men? Well, some of them were killed in the genocide. Some of them are in exile. Some of them are in prison for genocide crimes. The cooperative is a lifeline for them.
Drusilla was a founder member of the Women's Cooperative when it began in 2001.
turi kumwe twese tubona amafaranga menshi kuko dukorera hamwe tukabona umusaruro utubutse.
She thinks that it's better to work as a cooperative because they can earn more.
Noneho tugakora igikorwa cya kawa.
The cooperative helped them to pay the fees of their children, the school fees, to pay some health insurance. When you are ill, you can go to the cooperative administration and ask for some small loan to help you for medicine payment or for the school fees when you don't have money.
Some people are a bit sceptical about fair trade. So what exactly is fair trade? Well, I've got 2 handfuls of coffee here. This is coffee. It's good coffee. You can take it home and brew up a really nice cup in your cafetiere. But the people who produce this are working at or below the poverty line. Now this is fair trade coffee. It's just as good as the other one. I actually think it's better. But I'm walking along beside a brand new school built on the proceeds of fair trade coffee.
It is a chalk. It is a pencil. It is a book. It is not a book.
Despite the obvious signs of progress, reminders of the genocide are never far away.
Kizzy is the community where the cooperative is based. But Kizzy was a ghost town, ripped apart during the genocide, its population dispersed to the winds, until the cooperative arrived. And with the cooperative, the community was reborn.
And nowhere is that sense of community spirit more evident than on market day. Fair trade has helped to stimulate the local economy, and people are once again doing what they're best at: bartering, buying, selling, getting their lives back to normal.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Wow. Nice chicken. Oh, look, salon de coiffure. That's a hairdressing salon. This is the 5th hairdressing salon I've seen so far. That's a sure sign things are looking up.
One of the members of the cooperative invited me home to try the local specialty, goat kebab.
Oh, I think I could get used to that. I can't even pronounce it. I only had 2 mouthfuls. I could get used to this.
Sharing banana beer with me is my host, Gemma. Her husband is in prison on suspicion of crimes of genocide.
It's all right. This is Joshi, this stuff.
Her friend, Beate, was widowed during the massacres.
Joshi. My pronunciation is not great, but my objective is to say it's Joshi. That's getting better.
Just after the genocide, people were afraid of others, so meeting was not easy. But with the cooperative, it became easy, and now they can just say that they are becoming friends.
So women from both sides of the divide during the genocide are now coming together, having a meal together. It seems to me that the cooperative is a force for reconciliation between those groups. Is that so?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, thank you very much for a lovely meal, and it's lovely to meet all of you in your homes. Thank you.
Fair trade doesn't just offer farmers more money for their crop, it also offers encouragement to improve productivity and promote more efficient ways of growing top quality coffee.
This is one of the most important days of the year for the cooperative. This is the day when the best farmers get given prizes, and they could get a backpack sprayer, they could get new hoes or new spades, but by far the most popular prize is a goat. And another thing, they all get given a pack of Marabou coffee, their own coffee, probably for the first time in their lives. And the other important thing about today is the day when they get paid the extra dividend that they've earned through fair trade.
It's the end of my journey in Rwanda, and I've come to the Hotel Mille Collines, better known nowadays as Hotel Rwanda. Here, the hotel manager saved the lives of 3,000 people during the genocide by offering them refuge from the killers.
When I first arrived in Rwanda, I expected ugliness, a bitter, resentful poverty, a society poisoned by distrust. Well, I didn't find that at all. The Rwandans are generous and welcoming, they're funny. Their kids are bursting with energy and enthusiasm. But they're really poor. The average Rwandan earns about £120 a year. Now, if we look at what we each earn, surely we can afford a few pence more for a better cup of coffee. And it's delicious coffee. And we'll be transforming the lives of some of the poorest people on earth. The difficult thing shouldn't be saying yes to fair trade. It should be saying no to fair trade.